Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Mermail Atlantean deck profile. So this deck is a really fun deck that's actually stayed pretty meta-relevant over the years since it was originally released, and I believe Return of the Duelist and Cosmo Blazer is when it first came out, back in the Zexal era. I know, that's over actually almost 6 years ago. It's lasted longer than Burning Abyss has, which is saying something. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight on into this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of Mermail Abyss Megalo. Always play 3 in this deck. It's a really good card. It can attack twice, and I actually have some history with these Abyss Megalos. I actually worked really hard to get the Mosaic rares back when it was only Secret and Mosaic was your only 2 options. So that's why I keep playing the Mosaics, because I just really think they're really pretty. I love the crackle effect, and I thought it was really cool when they reprinted them. And now you don't see that many people playing with Mosaic rare ones. So then I play 3 copies of Abystius. Abystius, you just discard a water monster from your graveyard or to your graveyard from your hand, special summon it, and then it lets you add a level 4 lower Mermail monster from your deck to your hand, which is kind of cool. I forgot to mention that you have to discard 2 to special summon out your Megalo from your hand, and usually use these as your rank 7 fodder to make other monsters or your link materials. So then I play 1 copy of Abyss Mander. Abyss Mander is here because if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to level manipulate all of your Mermails on your side of the field to be 1 level higher or 2 level higher, which can make you really easily make you a true king of all calamities. So that's when we play 1 copy of Mander in the deck. Then I play 1 copy of Abyss Spike. This card, when it's summoned, normal summoned or special summoned, you can discard a water monster to the grave and add a level 3 or lower water monster from your deck, or level 3 water monster from your deck to your hand. It's a little restricted, but there's a lot of level 3s in this deck. Like, you could search anything from Abyss Gund all the way down to your copies of Gen X Undying. So it has a lot of plays. Then I play 2 copies, speaking of Abyss Gun, I play 2 copies of Abyss Gun. What this does is basically if it's discarded by the effect of, or if this card is discarded to the graveyard, you can target a Mermail monster in your grave, accept another copy for yourself, and special summon that target, which is really cool to be able to have like a walking monster reborn in this deck. And you discard a lot of cards in this deck to be able to special summon. Then I play 1 copy of Abyss Osea. Abyss Osea is basically, you can target a Mermail monster you control, special summon any number of level 4 or lower Mermail monsters from your deck, whose total level combined to equal to or less than the one you just sent. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll use her and target one of these to special summon a Gund in this, and then link them together to be able to like make Miss Starboy. And then if I can summon out another one of these or 2 of these in the following turn, I have Mander and Grave to be able to go into another play. So for the Atlanteans, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Dragoons. Dragoons is kind of like the searcher of the deck. If it's on the field, you can, or if it's discarded to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you get to add a sea serpent monster from your deck to your hand, which there's a lot of sea serpents in this deck. But something you keep in mind as well about this card is all face-up level 3 or lower sea serpent type monsters you control can attack your opponent directly. That can really catch your opponent off guard if they're low on life points, and you can normal summon something like, I don't know, some frogs maybe, and then hit your opponent directly with that. So it does come in handy with both effects. I don't ever really normal summon it, but it is an option to do. Then I play 1 copy of Marksman. Basically, Marksman is the only thing is if it's discarded to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you can just target a set card your opponent controls and destroy it. And it also has the effect of when you inflict damage to your opponent, you can add a Sea Serpent type monster from your, you can special summon a Sea Serpent type level 4 or lower Atlantean Sea Serpent type monster from your deck to your hand, or deck to your field, which is cool. And then I also play 2 copies of Heavy Infantry. This one actually gives you an extra normal summon, so it can really help out. And it's a level 2, so it's really good to have this and frogs in the same deck because you can just normal summon them and then normal summon an additional level 4 or lower Sea Serpent. So like you can normal summon this and then normal summon another copy of it, or normal summon one of these and then normal summon like Neptibus and link the Neptibus away for something like Linkuriboh to get you an additional play, which is really nice to be able to do. So for the next card that we're going to be playing is 3 of the Prince. You need 3 of the Prince. It's probably the best card in the deck. When it's normal summoned, or when it's normal summoned, you can send a Atlantean monster from your deck to your hand, or your deck to your graveyard, and that's just any time. It doesn't have to be normal summoned, excuse me. You just have it on the field, which is cool. Except another copy of itself, and then you get to add an Atlantean monster from your deck to your hand, which is really, really awesome. So it searches like Dragoons, or you normal summon this, send Dragoons, add into Dragoons, and then Dragoons get you a search too, so you get a +2 off of just the normal summon, or having it on the field. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster effect, you can target an Atlantean monster in your grave, and then special summon it, except another copy of itself, which is really, really good. So that's it for the Atlantean and Mermail. Let me get into the other toolbox stuff, which is really, really awesome. The other toolbox stuff. Like, this is like a water deck. Like, this is about as pure as you're going to get for a water deck. So then we're going to be playing 3 copies of Swap Frog. I usually just special summon this to send certain water cards that are aqua from my deck to the graveyard. Usually like Dupe or Ronin Tonin are my usual targets for this. But you special summon this, and then if you have another level 2 aqua monster on your side of the field, you can overlay into your copies of Totally Awesome. So you make Totally Awesome pretty regularly in this deck, because it's totally awesome. 1 copy of Dupe Frog. I use this just basically as fodder for Ronin Toten to be able to special summon Ronin Toten off the field, because you can make Dupe Frog, or you can make your copy of Totally Awesome really easily by just like using this, bouncing it back to hand, sending Dupe Frog, bouncing back to your hand, send Ronin Toten, summon it, and then banish the Dupe Frog, special summon Ronin Toten, and then overlay the swap and the Dupe or the Ronin Toten, these 2 together to make your copy of, what's it called? The Totally Awesome. So then for the toolbox-ish stuff, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Moron Glacia. If you have 5 or more water monsters, or exactly 5 water monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is really cool, and then rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. But if it's destroyed, or if it's removed from the field for any reason, you have to skip your next battle phase. I play 1 copy of Fishbog Lancer. You can special summon this card for free from your grave, pretty much, as long as you control water monsters, and then, or as long as you have water monsters in your graveyard, which is really easy to do. You just have to make sure that you don't like link summon. You want to get this pretty quickly into your graveyard, special summon it, and it's a tuner monster, which is kind of cool. Deep Sea Diva, really good card in the deck. You just normal summon it, and you can special summon a level 3 or lower Sea Serpent type monster from your deck. I usually summon Neptibus out of the deck to get its effects off. 2 copies of Aqua Spirit. Aqua Spirit is really easy to summon in this deck. You just banish a water monster from your grave, special summon it onto your side of the field, and you can use it as link fodder really easily. She also has the added effect that she can change the battle position when it face up a monster your opponent controls, which is really cool. And then we play 2 copies of Gamma Seal. Gamma Seal is just to tribute opponent's monsters off. It really works with the deck. Crystron, Rosenix. Rosenix, if it's sent to the graveyard, I use this to... if it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish it, and then special summon a Crystron token that's level 1. So I just use it for the token, really, and it's really easy to get that in the grave. 3 copies of Genex Undyne. Genex Undyne, basically, when it's normal summon, you can send a water monster from your deck to the grave, which you usually want to send Rosenix. You send Rosenix to grave, and then special summon the token, special summon out a controller from your deck, or you to add a controller from your deck to your hand, and then you already have a link 2 on the field, which is really, really important. So you just search that 1 controller from your deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're only going to be playing 3 spells, and that is going to be the 3 copies of Sekka's Light. So you really only need 3 spell cards in this entire deck, and that's 3 copies of Sekka's Light. If you have no spell and trap cards in your graveyard, you get to draw 2 cards, and for the rest of the turn, after the duel, you can only activate Sekka's Light, and you can banish this card from your grave to reveal a monster in your hand, shuffle it back into the deck, and then draw a card. So this kind of locks you down from activating any spells and traps, but that's okay. We're not really worried about that. You just want to be able to summon, activate Sekka's Light and get off your draws. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 1 copy of the Mermail XYZ monster. I only play 1 copy of it because I really feel like you only need 1 copy of it. It's a really good card to just be able to summon and when this card's on the field, and it has XYZ materials that are level 5 or higher monsters cannot attack. And then once per turn during either player's battle phase, you can detach material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. They have less attack until the end phase of the turn, which is really cool that you can be able to do that right at the beginning of your opponent's turn, or right as they summon something that's going to activate an effect, you can just negate it, which is really cool. I play 2 copies of Totally Awesome in this deck because I feel like I make it quite a lot in this deck, and it just negates so much stuff, so I play 2 copies of it. 1 True King of All Calamities, you kind of banish Mander from the field to have like 2 copies of like, you have like 2 Abystius or an Begalo and Abystius, which is easy to do, and have Mander engraved, and just make this and just skill drain the field. For the Synchro monsters, we're going to play 1 copy of Trishula. This card is super easy to go into. You either go like Abystius, Fishbog, and like Neptibus, which is super easy to get on the field, or you do like 3/3s, or it's just easy to go into this. Like you do 3/3s, a 1/1 and a 7 to go into Trish, and it's just super easy. Like I said, White Aura Whale, this is super easy to go into as well. Psyframe Lord Omega, you just banish so many cards off your opponent just by summoning this. Bryonic is super easy to make in this deck as well. And then we play 1 copy of Borreload. Borreload you just make in here because, you know, it helps you with OTKs. Boral Sword, you make it for OTKs. Nightmare Unicorn, you use it to bounce. 2 copies, or 1 copy of Mistar Boy and 1 copy of Underclock Taker. This just boosts your attack, and it's really easy to make this. I make this all the time because I'll make it and then target a card on my side of the field that points to and target a card my opponent controls and make it lose attack and then gain attack, which is cool. And then 1 Link Rebo just to make it off of all the Link 1s. So that's it, or the level 1. So that's it for the main deck, guys, and the extra deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I really enjoyed putting this one together. I've had this deck a long time, like a long time. It's super, super fun. It's super cheap, too. Like, I've had it since Battles of Legend Light's Revenge, which has been like 2 years ago. And it's super, super fun, super easy to build, and you can kind of put anything you want in it as long as you follow like the basic core. You don't even have to play frogs in here. Just play the Mermails and the Atlanteans, and then you can throw in Nimbles if you want to, if you don't want to play the frogs. You can do a couple of other different water engines if you want to. You can even do Nightmares if you want to. But this deck, or Orcus, like I've seen people play Orcus in this. So that's it for the main deck, guys, or that's it for the whole deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell down there so you can become part of notifications when I'll see you guys in the next one. See you around, guys.